In 2026, the United States crossed a financial threshold that few people truly understand. Federal debt moved beyond $36 trillion. At the same time, a major new banking and liquidity rule is scheduled to begin on February 10th, changing how risk, capital, and balance sheets are measured across the entire system. During 301 AD, the Roman Empire made a decision that reshaped money itself. During 301 AD, Rome made the exact same decision. It manipulated the unit of account to survive a fiscal emergency. The consequence was not stability. The consequence was the collapse of confidence, the destruction of purchasing power, and the beginning of the final phase of an empire. How did we arrive at this exact moment? How did the most powerful financial system in modern history find itself walking a path that ancient empires already walked? History has witnessed this precise sequence before. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes with precision. The central mystery is not whether America is strong. The mystery is why strong empires, when placed under fiscal stress, always reach for the same tools, and when they do, the outcome follows the same mathematical pattern. This isn't speculation. This is 2,000 years of documented monetary history. Let's begin in 117 AD, when the Roman Empire reached its peak. Rome controlled territory from Britain to the Middle East. It governed over 65 million people. Its silver denarius was trusted across 3 continents. At that moment, Rome looked invincible. But the seeds of collapse were already planted in its money. Rome faced enormous costs. The army consumed more than 60% of the imperial budget. Social programs expanded. Political loyalty had to be bought. So the emperors turned to the coin. Under Nero, between 54 and 68 AD, the silver content of the denarius fell from about 94% to around 90%. It seemed harmless, just a small adjustment. Under Septimius Severus, between 193 and 201 AD, silver content fell again, down to about 50%. Under Gallienus, by 260 AD, silver content collapsed to about 5%. In less than 200 years, Rome destroyed over 90% of the real value of its money. The math was unavoidable. When the money supply expands faster than real production, prices rise. According to the historian Edward Gibbon, Roman prices increased more than 1,000% between $200 D and 300 D in 301 AD, Emperor Diocletian issued the edict on maximum prices. He tried to freeze the economy by law. It failed. Black markets exploded, trade collapsed, trust vanished. By 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire no longer existed. Now, 14 centuries later, another empire stood at a similar crossroads. In 1580, Spain controlled the largest empire in the world. Silver from the mines of Potosi in Bolivia flooded Europe. More than 150,000 tons of silver entered the system over 2 centuries. At first, Spain felt rich, but productivity did not rise with the money supply. The result was the price revolution. According to economic historian Earl J. Hamilton, European prices rose roughly 300% between 1500 and 1650. Spain declared bankruptcy in 1557, again in 1575, and again in 1596, 3 defaults in 39 years. By 1640, Spain's global dominance had faded. The collapse happened in about 60 years, faster than Rome. Then came Weimar Germany. After World War I, Germany faced massive reparations and debt. Instead of restructuring, the government printed money. In January 1923, $1 equaled 18,000 marks. By November 1923, $1 equaled 4.2 trillion marks. The money supply multiplied by nearly 1 billion times in less than 2 years. According to historian Adam Ferguson, the mark ceased to function as money. The middle class was destroyed. Political extremism filled the vacuum. The same 3-phase sequence appeared every time. Phase 1 is financial stress. Phase 2 is government intervention that weakens money. Phase 3 is the collapse of confidence. This is not coincidence. This is economic certainty backed by 2,000 years of evidence. The pattern is mathematically consistent across 3 documented cases. So how does this connect to 2026? Let's compare the metrics. Rome debased its currency by over 90% before collapse. Spain saw prices rise over 300% before repeated defaults. Weimar Germany saw its currency fall from 18,000 per dollar to 4.2 trillion per dollar in 10 months. Now look at the United States. Debt to GDP now exceeds 125%. Annual federal deficits exceed $1.8 trillion. Interest payments alone are approaching $1 trillion per year. After 2020, more than $8 trillion was added to the debt in 4 years. From 2021 to 2024, interest rates rose from near zero to over 5%, the fastest hiking cycle in 40 years. In 2023, bank balance sheets cracked under the pressure. Emergency lending facilities were activated. Now, in 2026, a new capital and liquidity rule begins February 10th, tightening how banks value risk and hold reserves. That is not a sign of confidence, that is a sign of control. History shows that when rules multiply, trust is thinning. If we place America on the historical timeline, the United States is now at stage 3 of 5. Stage 1 is silent debt growth. Stage 2 is monetary expansion. Stage 3 is regulation and intervention. Stage 4 is confidence fracture. Stage 5 is system reset. Look at the sequence. First came massive fiscal expansion. Have you ever felt like the money in your bank account is somehow different than it used to be? It's not just you. The very meaning of money is changing, and it's quietly reshaping how we all live and plan for the future. We're in the middle of a massive financial shift, and most people haven't even noticed. What's happening is a huge psychological change. The old wisdom of saving for a rainy day is fading. Why? Because we've been taught subtly that money saved is money lost. It's expected to lose value over time. So instead of long-term saving, we're pushed towards short-term management. This has normalized things that would have been unthinkable a generation ago. Taking on debt is now standard practice, and speculative investments, once seen as risky, are now mainstream. People are chasing quick returns because the idea of steady, long-term growth feels like a fantasy. It's a fundamental rewiring of our financial instincts, from savers to speculators. This isn't just a local trend, it's a global phenomenon, and it all revolves around the US dollar. As the world's primary reserve currency, its stability is crucial. But when the dollar's value becomes unpredictable, it sends shockwaves across the entire global economy. Central banks worldwide are forced to react, often by increasing their control and implementing new, sometimes drastic, measures to manage their own currencies and protect their economies from the ripple effects. We're seeing a high-stakes financial chess game play out on a global scale, and every move affects us. The consequences are showing up in our daily lives. The cost of essential things like housing, healthcare, and education keeps climbing, making it harder to get by, let alone get ahead. That dream of a comfortable retirement, it now feels incredibly uncertain. People are working longer, taking on side hustles, and still worrying if they'll ever be able to stop. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about real-world stress and the erosion of our sense of security. The rules we were taught about hard work and saving no longer seem to apply in the same way. So what does this all mean? Is the system collapsing? No, not exactly. It's transforming. We are living through a pivotal moment in monetary history. Understanding this shift isn't about being pessimistic, it's about being realistic. By recognizing that the financial landscape has changed, we can start to navigate it more strategically. This isn't just about surviving. It's about learning the new rules so you can adapt and thrive. Thanks for watching, and if you found this insightful, consider subscribing for more.